So let's start, my dear friends. The periodicity for your discrete signals, right? Periodicity of the discrete signal. Discrete signal. Okay. Now, how you can calculate the periodicity of the discrete signal? Let's say any function x of n having the, let's say, e raised to power j to n. Okay. Now, j to n. So when you put here n equal to t equal to n, this becomes your discrete signals. Okay. If it is continuous signal, then this is the periodic. But in this case of discrete, for the discrete signal, time period t equal to 2 pi by omega naught, and this is 2 pi by 2. This is equal to pi, which is irrational number. Got it? Which is irrational number. So if time period t is equal to irrational number, and this t is calculated here capital N. So if n equal to pi, irrational number, then it is called not periodic. Not periodic. If n is rational, if n is a rational number, then it is called periodic. Okay. So t equal to 2 pi by omega naught, that should be equal to rational number for the periodicity. If it is irrational number is such as pi, root 2, root 3. These all are the irrational number. Okay, got it? So if it is irrational number, then it is said to be your not periodic. If it is a rational number, then it is called periodic signal. Then it is called periodic signal. As for example, another example, x of n equal to cos of 3 pi by 4 into n. Let's say cos of 3 pi by 4 into n. So what's the n? Time period is what? T equal to 2 pi by omega naught. So you can write here 2 pi by 3 pi by 4, and this is equal to 8 by 3. This is equal to 8 by 3. Got it? Now, this 8 by 3 must be equal to n by k. This 8 by 3 must be equal to n by k. Why n by k? Here we choose the any value of the k so that n becomes the integer, and that n will gives your time period. That n will gives your time period. Okay. So just relate this t equal to n by k, where we have to choose the value of k so that n becomes the integer value. So now you can write n equal to 8 by 3 times of k. And if you put k equal to 3, then n becomes what? N becomes 8. So the time period equal to 8. Now if you want to choose the k equal to 6. So if you choose the k equal to 6, then n becomes what? N becomes 16. If you want to choose k equal to 12, then n becomes what? 32. Okay. So n may be 8, 16, 32, 64, but your fundamental time period is what? So your fundamental time period is your 8. So answer will be 8. So first of all check this value is rational or irrational. This is your rational value. Okay. And if this is a rational value, then just equate this rational value equal to n by k, and just choose the value of k so that n becomes the integer, and that will gives your fundamental time period. Got it? Okay. यहीं से स्टार्ट हुआ मानिक, यहीं से स्टार्ट हुआ है ना, बस फर्स्ट पेज ही है. So this is called fundamental time period. Got it? So again, it is periodic or not periodic. So first of all, check it is periodic or not. So fundamental time period is 2 pi by omega naught. If this is irrational number, then it is not periodic. If it is the rational number, then it is periodic. And if it is periodic, then fundamental period is what? 8 by 3 equal to n by k, where n equal to this one. So this one represents the time period. Got it? Got it, my dear friends? Please write each and every one. Clear or not? That's fine. Clear? Okay. So this is the periodicity of your discrete signal. Now, next question. Let's say another question. Cos of n by 4. This is x of n. Periodic or not periodic? Check it. Periodic or not periodic? Check. Periodic or not periodic? Check it. So what's the value of coefficient omega equal to what? 4, right? So t equal to 2 pi by omega naught. This can be right 2 pi by 1 by 4. And this is 8 pi. 8 times of pi, it is irrational number. And if it is irrational number, then it is not periodic. Got it? If having the pi multiplication, there is no any not periodic. Got it? Next question. Let's say next question, periodicity. E raised to power j pi by 4 into n. So t can be right here 2 pi by omega naught. This is 2 pi by 4. This is equal to 8, right? And this is equal to what? N by k. So for k equal to 1, n becomes what? 8. So periodic with fundamental period is what? 8. Got it? So periodic with fundamental period is 8. Are you getting my point? X of n equal to cos of pi by 3n plus sine of pi by 4n. Now it is the combination of two signals, right? Now it is the combination of two signals, x1n and x2n. If there is a combination of two signals, then how you can solve these questions? Okay, just I'm getting x, or let's say x of n equal to x1n plus x2n, right? Let the first time period t1 equal to 2 pi by omega naught, and which is a rational number. सुमन सुमन अंडा बॉईल करने के लिए दी भूल गई. t2 equal to 2 pi by omega naught, and let's say this is also your rational number. Got it? If both are rational number, then it is periodic. This is also periodic. This is also periodic. And let's say this is n1 by k equal to 2 pi by omega naught. And let's say n1 is your integer value. Which value? Integer value. Let another point n2 by k equal to 2 pi by omega naught. So n2, let's say here integer value. Okay. Now it is a periodic with fundamental time period n2. and it is also the periodic with fundamental time period n1, then what's the total time period? So total fundamental time period, and this is equal to n equal to LCM of n1 and n2. What is my point, sir? What is my point, my dear friends? Is it clear? So n is LCM of n1 and n2. So n is LCM of n1 and n2. Now come to the next question. Now this question, T1 equal to what? 2 pi by omega naught, and this is equal to 6, and this is 2 pi by omega naught, and this is equal to 8. So 6 equal to n1 by k 1. So n1 equal to 6. This is n2 by k2. So n2 equal to 8, integer value. Now total fundamental time period is LCM of 6 and 8, and this is equal to what? 24. Is it clear, my dear friends? What is my point?
Yes, sir.
So in this way we can find the periodicity. Now come to the next question. X of n equal to cos square pi by 6n. Let's say this is cos square pi by 6n. Now how you can write this is, you can write here 1 plus cos 2 theta, right? So this is cos pi by 3n divided by 2. You can write here 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 cos of pi by 3n. Got it? So this is your DC signal, and DC signal having the arbitrary time period. I mean, it is not the time period. DC signal having the constant value. Okay. Now we have to find the fundamental time period of this signal. If this is periodic, then overall signal becomes periodic. Now what's the fundamental time period T? 2 pi by 3, and this is equal to 6, and this is equal to n by k. So for k equal to 1, n equal to 6. So what's the fundamental time period? So fundamental time period n equal to 6. So the fundamental time period n equal to 6. N equal to 6. Is it clear? Is it clear, my dear friends? That's fine. Now check another question. X of n equal to u of n. Let's say x of n equal to minus 0.5 to the power n u of n. Check whether it is energy signal or not. Signal or not. What is the energy of discrete signal? This is n equal to 0 because this is u of n, so it start from n equal to 0 to infinity mod of x of n square. Okay, so this can be right here at 0, n equal to 0 to infinity. This is 1 by 4 to the power n. So this can be right here 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 square dot 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 to infinity. So what's the energy? This is in the terms of your what? Gp. So you can write A upon 1 minus R. So this is 1 upon 1 minus 1 by 4. So answer will be 4 by 3, which is what? Less than infinity. It means what? This is energy signal. If energy is finite, then this is called energy signal. Yes, what's your question? Cos pi n square by t. Cos pi n square. N square. By 8. Cos pi n square by 8. यही पूछ रहे हैं ना आप? ओके यस, इसको आप निकालिए n square. Now in this case t equal to what? Omega n square. This is actually this is omega n square. Now in this case omega n square. For omega n square, if you want to write omega n square, this is your root pi by 8 n square. One minute. Sixteen is the time period. Fundamental time period will be 16. Okay. 8 will be given. N square. Okay, I will check. I will check the concept. Okay. Got it? I will check the concept. Don't worry. Now, next question. X of n equal to 2 e raised to power j 3n. Okay. Check what is energy signal or power signal. check whether it is energy signal or power signal. So what's the mode value of x of n? This is equal to 2 because a raised to power j theta equal to mod value equal to 1. So this is equal to 2. Now if you calculate energy, this is minus infinity to infinity 2 square. This is equal to infinite. So not energy signal. Now come to the power. Power is 1 upon 2n plus 1 limit n tending to infinity. So this is n tending to infinity 1 upon 2n plus 1 summation running from n equal to minus infinity to infinity. Sorry, minus n to capital N x of n mod square. So this can be write 1 upon 2n plus 1 into 4 into summation running from n equal to minus n to n into 1. And what becomes? This is n tending to infinity 1 upon 2n plus 1 into 4 times of 2n plus 1. And this is equal to what? 4. 4 which is less than infinite, which is the finite value. So it's a power signal, not the energy signal. Got it? So it is a power signal, not the energy signal. चलिए x of n equal to u of n. So this represents the u of n. This is u of n. Okay. X of n equal to n times of u of n. It means what? This will represent the ramp function. This will represent the ramp function. Got it? This is your ramp function. This is your ramp function. So shifting may be positive or negative if there is a u of n minus n naught. It means it is shifted from n equal to n naught. Right side. Got it? Okay. Del of at equal to what? 1 upon mod of a del of t. Got it? But here del of an is equal to del of n. Because this is discrete, there will no any change in thickness. Got it? Now, so anywhere linear time invariant system, linear time invariant system, and this is called LTI system. So before starting the LTI system, now I'm going to discuss what are the type of the systems. So the system is nothing but if there is a input and which is passes through a system which impulse response is, let's say, h of t, and you will get the output. So let input is x of t, system is h of t, output is y of t, and if it is operated in time domain, then y of t can be right here x of t convolve with ht. Okay बुआ, x of t क्या होगा बुआ, h of t के साथ क्या करेगा, कन्वोल्यूशंस करेगा, and the convolution is minus infinity to t x of tau h of t minus tau into d tau. This is the convolutions. If you have the frequency response, then you can write y of s equal to x of s into h of s, or y of j omega equal to x of j omega into h of j omega. Got it? So the convolution in the time domain, multiplication in the frequency domain. Now, my dear friends, what should be the conditions for the system? So what are the properties of the systems? So what are the different types of properties of the systems? So let's discuss the different types of properties of your system. Okay. So there are various types of the systems, and first is your linear system. Okay. So impulse response, it means what? Sorry. If your input is given impulse function, then output is said to be impulse response output. If input is unit step, then said to be unit step response. Okay. If input is parabolic, then parabolic response. If your input is ramp function, then it's said to be ramp response. Okay. So output of response depends on different types of your inputs, different types of your inputs combinations. Got it, my point? Now, so what are the different types of the system and what are the criteria of the systems? So let first I am going to discuss here what is the linear system. Okay. So let's start first, linear system. So first one, linear system. Just write down. A system is said to be linear. A system is said to be linear. A system is said to be linear if it follow the property of superposition and homogeneity. Superposition and homogeneity. 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 So let's say A system is said to be linear if it follows the superposition and homogeneity. Let's say this is ht and input is x1t. So output is y1t. Let another signal, this input is x2t, and let's say output is y2t. Now if you apply the combined effect of the signal, that is a times of x1t plus b times of x2t, then output will be also a times of y1t plus b times of y2t. And this property is called linear property. So if this is plus minus, then output should be also plus minus, and this property is called linear property. Got it? So this is called linear property. Okay. Now, next is your causality. Causal or non-causal system. Anti-causal system. देखिए, the system, yes, homogeneity मतलब additive property. अगर a से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो ये भी a से मल्टीप्लाई, b से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो ये भी b से मल्टीप्लाई, है ना. Causal or non-causal system. देखिए, ये system is said to be causal. ये system is said to be causal if it does not depends on future value. If it does not depends on future value. That is for causal system h of t equal to 0 for t less than 0. For causal system h of t equal to 0 for t less than 0. Less than 0. That is output only for positive time domain, है ना. Output only for positive time domain. Then this is called causal systems. Or we can say the, okay, or we can say anti-causal if x of t equal to 0, or we can say h of t equal to 0 for t greater than 0. Okay, it means only exist for negative time domain. चलिए दूसरे से लॉगिन होइए फटाफट, फिर हम कुछ क्वेश्चन करेंगे तो मजा आएगा. कैसे चेक करेंगे लीनियर है नॉन लीनियर, कैसे चेक करेंगे.